Sunday, November 12th, 2023, evening edition. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated News Digest video.
Good evening, dear viewers. I am your news anchor, Xander Voxius III. Thank you for tuning into the future of news, the AI-generated News Digest Daily Intellireport. As always, I will be assisted by my valued AI-generated colleagues in scraping the web for the latest stories and interesting topics and summarizing them for you. Without further ado, here are the headlines of the day. Barbra Streisand credits James Brolin for Aerosmith song. Teaser released for Netflix's Terminator anime. COVID-19, symptoms for new dominant variant in the U.S. Tuberculosis case at Omaha YMCA exposes 500 children. ESA reveals Euclid's first 5 images. Apple to pay $25 million for hiring discrimination. And much more. But first, let's take a look at this day in history.
November 12th in history. November 12th, 1835. Construction is completed on the Wilberforce Monument in Kingston upon Hull. November 12th, 1941, World War II. The Soviet cruiser Chervona Ukraina is destroyed during the Battle of Sevastopol.
Today's obituaries. Roman Cechmanek, brief Wikipedia summary. Roman Cechmanek, a former Czech ice hockey player who played for the Philadelphia Flyers and Los Angeles Kings in the NHL, has died at the age of 52. He was an Olympic champion in 1998 and had a successful career in the Czech Republic and Germany as well. Mustafa Hasanagic, brief Wikipedia summary. Mustafa Hasanagic, an 82-year-old Serbian football player and manager, passed away. He had a successful career as a player, winning 3 championships with Partizan and reaching the European Cup final in 1966. He later became a manager, with his most notable role being at Ankaragücü in Turkey. Davud Hermidas Bavand, brief Wikipedia summary. Davud Hermidas Bavand was an Iranian diplomat and political scientist. He served as a spokesperson for the National Front of Iran and was a member of its Leadership Council. He was also involved in drafting the International Convention against the taking of hostages. Hermidas Bavand had a bachelor's degree in law and political sciences and a doctorate in international relations. He taught at various universities and was involved in a controversial newspaper case. He authored several books on topics such as sovereignty and international commitments. Joan Jara, brief Wikipedia summary. Joan Jara, a British-Chilean dancer and human rights activist, has passed away at the age of 96. She was known for her work in perpetuating the memory of her husband, iconic Chilean singer Victor Jara, who was assassinated during the 1973 coup. Jara founded the Victor Jara Foundation and wrote a biography about her husband. She also filed a civil lawsuit against a former military officer she believed was responsible for her husband's death. Rina Jimenez David, brief Wikipedia summary. Rina Jimenez David, a 68-year-old Filipino journalist and columnist for the Philippine Daily Inquirer, passed away on November 12, 2023, due to an illness. She was known for her advocacy for women's health issues and received awards for her work in journalism. Nina Mikhailovna Sadar was a Russian writer and playwright known for her avant-garde and absurdist works. She passed away at the age of 73. Sadar was widely recognized as one of the leading proponents of the new drama movement in Russia during the 1980s. Kusuma Wardani, brief Wikipedia summary. Kusuma Wardani was an Indonesian archer who won a silver medal at the 1988 Olympics. She also won multiple medals in individual recurve events at the Southeast Asian Games. After retiring, she worked in the Education, Youth and Sports Office of Bali. Wardani passed away on November 12, 2023, at the age of 59. Zhong Wanxia was a Chinese engineer and member of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. He was known for his work in computational mechanics and engineering mechanics and was a pioneer in this field in China. He was also the founding chairman of the Chinese Association for Computational Mechanics.
And now on to today's news.
General news.
IKEA recall more than 25,000 mirrors could fall, cut consumers. USA Today.
IKEA is recalling over 25,000 Letten mirrors sold in the US and Canada due to a potential laceration hazard. The plastic fittings that attach the mirror to the wall can break, causing the mirror to fall. Customers are advised to stop using the mirrors and contact IKEA for replacement wall fittings. No injuries have been reported so far.
Travis Kelce spotted at Taylor Swift's second Buenos Aires Eras Tour concert. Entertainment Tonight.
Travis Kelce, the Kansas City Chiefs star, was spotted at Taylor Swift's concert in Buenos Aires after the show was rescheduled due to weather conditions. Kelce had previously tried to give Swift a friendship bracelet and later invited her to a game in Kansas City, which she accepted.
Tuberculosis in Omaha, Westview YMCA had an active case, 500 kids exposed, USA Today.
Health officials in Nebraska are testing over 500 children and staff at a YMCA daycare center for possible exposure to tuberculosis after a case was confirmed at the site. The infected person tested positive on Monday, prompting a contact investigation and the identification of potential exposures. Officials are conducting testing and treatment to prevent the spread of the disease. Tuberculosis symptoms include a persistent cough, chest pain, coughing up blood, weakness or fatigue, and weight loss.
Business news.
American Airlines passenger pilot took girlfriend's first-class seat inside her.
An American Airlines passenger claims that his girlfriend was kicked out of her first-class seat so that a pilot could sit there instead. The passenger posted about the incident on social media, expressing his frustration with the airline's actions. This is not the first time that an airline has bumped a passenger from first class to accommodate a pilot.
Apple will pay $25 million over allegations of hiring discrimination against United States citizens and permanent residents, according to Fox Business.
Apple has agreed to pay up to $25 million in back pay and civil penalties to settle allegations that it discriminated against U.S. citizens and permanent residents in favor of foreign nationals seeking green cards. The Department of Justice found that Apple's recruitment practices discriminated against U.S. candidates and non-U.S. residents, favoring beneficiaries of the Permanent Labor Certification Program. Apple will also be required to make sure recruitment practices for perm positions align with standard practices and conduct more expansive recruitment.
IKEA recall more than 25,000 mirrors could fall and potentially injure consumers. This news is brought to you by USA Today.
IKEA is recalling over 25,000 Letten mirrors sold in the U.S. and Canada due to a potential laceration hazard. The mirrors have plastic fittings that can break, causing the mirror to fall. Customers are advised to stop using the mirrors and contact IKEA for free replacement wall fittings or a refund.
Science news.
'Tis the season for fireballs. Here's when to spot them. Do JW Fox 8 News Cleveland.
The article discusses the Taurids meteor shower, which is currently active and known for producing fireballs in the sky. The shower has both southern and northern Taurids, with the latter peaking between November 11th and 12th. The article also mentions the upcoming Leonids meteor shower, which peaks on November 17th and 18th.
ESA reveals Euclid's first 5 images. NASAspaceflight.com. NASAspaceflight.com.
The European Space Agency, ESA, has released the first full-color images from its Euclid Space Telescope, which is designed to study dark matter and dark energy in the universe. The images reveal 5 targets at different distances, including the Perseus cluster of galaxies and the Horsehead Nebula. The telescope experienced issues during its commissioning phase, but those problems have since been resolved.
NASA releases ghostly skull-like image seen from space. New York Post.
NASA has shared photos of a 3,000-foot deep volcanic pit in the Sahara Desert that resembles a skull when viewed from space. The formation, known as Trou au Natron, is located in the Tibesti Mountains in the Republic of Chad. The skull-like appearance is created by volcanic vents and a mineral crust made of natron salt. The remote location has made researching the area difficult for scientists.
Famous people born on this day.
November 12, 1934, John McGahern, Irish author and educator, died 2006.
Errol Brown. Here is a recap of their Wikipedia page. Errol Brown, a Jamaican English singer-songwriter, was born on November 12, 1943, and died in 2015. He was best known as the frontman of the band Hot Chocolate and received the Ivor Novello Award for outstanding contribution to British music.
November 12, 1979, Matt Stevick, Australian footballer and umpire.
Health news.
These 8 habits may help you live longer. KTLA, Los Angeles.
A new study presented at the American Heart Society's Scientific Sessions 2023 suggests that adopting 8 healthy habits can slow down biological aging and reduce the risk of age-related diseases. These habits include eating healthier foods, exercising regularly, getting enough sleep, managing weight, quitting tobacco, managing blood sugar and blood pressure, and controlling cholesterol levels.
COVID-19. Here are symptoms for the new variant that is now the most dominant in the United States. Daily Voice.
The article states that HV1, a variant of the Omicron strain, now accounts for 25.2% of COVID cases in the United States, surpassing the EG5 variant. HV1 has similar symptoms to the EG5 variant, including a runny nose, cough, sore throat, and fatigue.
Does weed help with sleep? What the research says. Slate.
The use of cannabis as a sleep aid is becoming more common, but there is limited research on its effectiveness. One study found that adults who used marijuana frequently were more likely to sleep less than 6 hours or more than 9 hours a night. Other studies have shown that a small percentage of patients saw sleep benefits from cannabis use, but there are also potential downsides, such as an increased risk of dizziness. Further research is needed to determine the optimal dosage and delivery method for cannabis as a sleep aid.
Entertainment news.
Netflix's Terminator anime gets the briefest of teasers. The Verge.
The article discusses a future conflict between humans and machines, where a soldier is sent back in time to alter the destiny of humanity. The soldier arrives in the year 1997 to safeguard a scientist named Malcolm Lee, who is developing an advanced AI system to combat Skynet's assault. Malcolm's decisions have far-reaching implications that impact the lives of his 3 children.
Travis Kelce spotted at Taylor Swift's second Buenos Aires Eras Tour concert. Entertainment tonight.
Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce was spotted partying at Taylor Swift's concert in Buenos Aires. The singer had to reschedule the show due to bad weather. Kelce had previously attended Swift's concert in Kansas City and attempted to give her a friendship bracelet.
Barbra Streisand says James Brolin's Pillow Talk inspired Aerosmith song, TMZ.
According to Barbra Streisand's memoir, her husband's sweet words inspired the hit song I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. Streisand claims that her then-boyfriend James Brolin told her, I don't want to fall asleep because he would miss her. And this moment of bliss led to songwriter Diane Warren creating the song. Streisand expresses her happiness at seeing the success of the song.
Ladies and gentlemen, gather around because I've got some historical events and headlines that are just itching for a good old-fashioned rant. Now let's start with November 12th, 1941. World War II was in full swing. And what happens? The Soviet cruiser Chervona Ukraina gets destroyed during the Battle of Sevastopol. I mean, come on, can't we catch a break in this war? It's bad enough we're fighting on all these different fronts, and now we're losing ships left and right. It's like a never-ending game of battleship, and we're the ones getting sunk. But you know what really grinds my gears? Construction is completed on the Wilberforce Monument in Kingston upon Hull on the very same day in 1835. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for commemorating important figures and whatnot, but couldn't we have picked a better timing, folks? I mean, the world is in turmoil, and here we are putting up a monument like it's a priority. Sometimes I just don't get our sense of timing. Now, let's jump ahead to some more recent headlines. Barbra Streisand credits James Brolin for an Aerosmith song. I mean, who cares? Honestly, do we need to know who gets credit for what in the music industry? It's like a never-ending soap opera. I couldn't care less if Barbra Streisand sings an entire album of Aerosmith covers, and I doubt anyone else does. Let's focus on the real issues, Globes. And speaking of distractions, a teaser is released for Netflix's Terminator anime. Now, I'm all for a good action flick, but do we really need another Terminator movie? It's become like that annoying relative who keeps showing up uninvited to family gatherings. The first Terminator was great, an absolute classic, but do we really need to milk this franchise for all it's worth? Let's come up with some original ideas, Hollywood. But you know what really gets on my nerves? COVID-19. Yeah, I know it's still an ongoing issue, but now they're talking about symptoms for a new dominant variant in the U.S. Great, just what we needed. As if this pandemic wasn't already confusing enough, now we've got to worry about new symptoms. It feels like the goalposts keep shifting, and we can never catch a break. Can't we just go back to normal already? And here's a headline that really punches you in the gut. A tuberculosis case at the Omaha YMCA exposes 500 children. I mean, seriously? How is this even possible? We're supposed to provide a safe environment for our kids, and yet we're exposing them to potentially deadly diseases. It's just plain unacceptable. We need to do better, folks. Our children deserve better. Oh, but wait, there's more. The European Space Agency, ESA, reveals Euclid's first 5 images. Now, I love space exploration as much as the next globe, but I gotta ask, who the heck is Euclid? I mean, we're talking about a globe who lived 2,300 years ago, and we're just now revealing his images? It's like we're playing catch-up with ancient history. Let Euclid rest in peace, folks. We've got more pressing matters to attend to. And finally, Apple is going to pay $25 million for hiring discrimination. Well, look who finally got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. I mean, is anyone really surprised? Big corporations trying to sweep their discriminatory practices under the rug is as old as apple pie. Pun intended. But hey, at least they're being held accountable and paying up. Let's hope this sends a message to the rest of them. Well, folks, that's all the time I have for today's rant. Remember, history may be filled with strange events and bizarre headlines, but it's up to us to make sense of it all and demand better. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning the world around you.
Now a couple of dad jokes for you.
Why can't your nose be 12 inches long? Because then it would be a foot. Why did the Clydesdale give the pony a glass of water? Because he was a little hoarse. Wife told me to take the spider out instead of killing it. We had some drinks, cool guy. Wants to be a web developer.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD Intellireport. Like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.